Hey guys, it's bedtime again, and tonight I'm going to read Walt Disney's Sleeping Beauty and the Prince, a book about determination. This one's by Justine Korman and illustrated by Bill Langley and Ron Diaz. On Briar Rose's 16th birthday, her guardians, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather, sent her out to pick some berries in the woods. I know why they want me. I know why they want me away from the cottage, Rose thought. They are planning my birthday surprise. What she didn't know was that Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather were really good fairies, and that she was Princess Aurora. The fairies had taken her from her royal parents soon after birth in order to save her from the curse of Maleficent, the evil fairy. They had brought the princess to a cottage deep in the forest and renamed her Briar Rose. There she is, walking away from the cottage with her basket and picking berries. For 16 years, Maleficent's demons had scoured the kingdom for Princess Aurora, but they didn't find her. In fact, the cottage was so well hidden that no one ever came there. The only playmates Briar Rose had were the forest creatures. Now, as she picked her berries, Rose sang to the birds, squirrels, and animal friends. By chance, a king's son who was riding through the forest heard the song. He rode over hill and across stream until he found Briar Rose. The moment they saw each other, Rose and the prince, whose name was Philip, fell in love. And there she is, singing to the animals. And Prince Philip, coming to find her beautiful voice. When Philip asked Rose her name, she wanted to run away. I am not allowed to talk to strangers, Briar Rose said. I cannot tell you my name. But you must. But I must see you again, the prince insisted. He was already determined to make her his bride. Rose finally agreed. All right. Meet me this evening, she told him how to find her cottage, and then she hurried home. Meanwhile, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather were using their fairy magic to make a fancy cake and gown for Rose's birthday surprise. They had been careful to lock the doors and windows and block the keyholes so that none of the magic would leak out, but they had forgotten to seal the chimney. There's Prince Philip, talking eagerly to Briar Rose. And there's the chimney with magic flying out of it. Silly fairies. Briar Rose came up the path to the cottage, too much in love to notice the brilliant magic glow arising from the chimney. But a raven that Maleficent had sent to find the princess saw the glow and knew it was magic. Then the evil bird saw Rose. By spying on her and the fairies, the raven heard Rose say, I don't know his name. All I know is he's wonderful. Oh no, you can't be in love, Flora declared. You're already betrothed to a prince, Fauna explained. Because you're Princess Aurora, Merryweather concluded. Delighted, the raven flew off to tell Maleficent. Aurora was too upset to enjoy her birthday surprise. She cried when the fairies told her that they had to leave at once for the palace of her true parents, the king and queen. But my love will be coming here tonight, she protested. Now that you are to live as a Princess Aurora, you have royal duties. Sorry, I can't keep the voices straight, Merryweather said gently. Then the fairies rushed Aurora to the palace. where they thought she would be safe under their watchful eyes. When Philip arrived at the cottage, it looked dark and empty. Suddenly, dozens of fairy hands grabbed him. From out of the darkness, Maleficent's henchmen tied the prince up and dragged him away to her dungeon. There she is, talking to the fairies, and there's Prince Philip being attacked by the evil minions. In a castle atop the Forbidden Mountain, Maleficent enjoyed her triumph as Philip struggled against his chains. Look, there is your beloved now, Maleficent hissed over her magic ball. Little did you know that girl in the woods was really Princess Aurora. Under my spell, she has pricked her finger and fallen into a deep, deep sleep. And there she will sleep in her parents' palace until love's first kiss awakens her. Maleficent's voice choked with cruel laughter. But you won't get out of this dungeon for 100 years. Nope. And there's Maleficent taunting Prince Philip as he watches her spell take its effect. We must do something, the fairies declared when they found out what had happened. The only way to save Aurora, began Flora, is to rescue Prince Philip, reasoned Fauna, and the only way to do that is the Forbidden Mountain, Merryweather explained. Oh no, it's far too dangerous. But because they loved Aurora so much, the fairies were determined to save her, even if it meant braving the Forbidden Mountain, a horde of evil gnomes, and Maleficent herself. Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather used their magic to shrink to the size of bumblebees. Then they buzzed through the terrifying castle until they found Prince Philip. There they are, plotting to save Prince Philip in order to save Princess Aurora. And there they are, flying through the castle as tiny little bumblebee-sized fairies. Once they released Philip from his chains, the fairies armed him with an enchanted sword, the Sword of Truth, and a magic shield, the Shield of Virtue. With these, Flora began, and with lots of determination, added Merryweather, you will be able to defeat Maleficent, Fauna concluded. Philip fought valiantly against the many gnomes guarding Maleficent's dungeon. Give up, you fool! Maleficent taunted from her high tower. Never! Shouted the prince, and with a great leap, he and his horse cleared the drawbridge at the entrance to Maleficent's castle. There are the fairies giving him the sword and shield, and there he is riding his horse across a bridge as it's being raised. He's very brave and determined. Maleficent saw the prince riding toward the palace, where Aurora lay sleeping. As he approached it, the evil fairy created a terrible forest of thorns. You'll never make it, Maleficent cackled, her heart filled with rage when she saw Philip hacking steadfastly through her thorns with the Sword of Truth. I must stop him once and for all, she screamed. There she is, casting her spell to trap the prince, and he doesn't hesitate. He takes his sword and starts hacking through him. The horse looks brave too, doesn't it? In a ball of flame, Maleficent appeared before the prince and changed into an enormous fire-breathing dragon. Burning thorns crackled all around Philip's head as he struggled to defeat the dragon. A blast of flame from the dragon knocked the shield from the prince's hand, but he kept fighting. For Aurora! Philip cried as he threw the Sword of Truth into the dragon's heart. There they are, Maleficent as a giant, scary-looking dragon, and Philip throwing the magic sword towards her heart. The ledge the dragon was standing on crumbled under its weight. and down the beast crashed, never to be seen again. The thorn forest suddenly dissolved into a mist, because of the determination of Prince Philip and the fairies' virtue, truth, and love had triumphed over Maleficent's evil. The prince ran to the palace and climbed stair after stair until he reached the topmost tower. There on a bed in a tiny room lay Aurora. Philip's heart skipped a beat when he saw her. Then he bent over and kissed her gently. The spell of eternal sleep was broken, and Aurora's eyes fluttered open. There's the dragon falling with a sword in her chest, straight into the bright blaze of fire that she had created. And there's Prince Philip, giving Princess Aurora her first love kiss. A royal wedding took place soon afterward. Many people from the kingdom came to celebrate with Prince Philip and Princess Aurora. The prince and princess lived happily ever after. And there they are at their wedding. Or maybe after, I'm not sure. Anyway, that's the end. Good night, be good, and always be kind.